All right, so here we are, Bob, after almost 2 years working together.
Yeah.
And the project started, pretty serious about us wanting to recreate the craft perfectly. That was the initial project. And you were very kind to say yes to work with us. You saw how serious we were in wanting to make it exactly as you
Yeah,
saw
it
it.
was impressive what you had planned. Yeah.
And it evolved, and we really built a lot. We really did a lot more than we originally thought we were going to do. It all started off with a model, and then it grew into this three-dimensional environment, and now it turned into this real, truly realistic environment.
Hmm.
And spending all this time together, getting it all right, and at a certain point I said to myself, we're going to be taking people back in time to 1988 and 1989. This is
Right,
exactly
to
what
see S4
to
like I did.
CS4.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna actually experience the place exactly as you described it to us, and we built it exactly to the specifications you gave us, to the colors and sizes
Right.
and the tools that were in there and all that. And it was so serious for a long time. We took it so seriously to make it
It
so
was.
accurate.
It was. It was a lot of work, a lot of corrections, and a lot of time.
Yeah, and we were so grateful that you were so helpful to work with us. You were always there. I mean, we must have had like numerous Zoom calls together and going over details, and there's so much that we covered. And there came a moment where we were thinking, how are we going to launch this? It's a serious thing, it's we don't want to come across as this is a cheesy project or anything. We want to make it look really cool and realistic and serious. But on the same token, we wanted to bring something a little bit lighthearted to the
Hmm.
whole story. And I was kind of working on ideas for how we were going to launch a trailer for this. And I thought, we got to bring people back in time. And why don't we use a time machine? And I thought that was somewhat a little bit ridiculous in my head when I said that, because I said, how am I going to do that? And then I got to find out that there's a company out here in the States that rents the DeLorean time machines from Back to the Future.
Hmm.
And I found out about them and I thought, oh, that's really cool. So I decided to reach out and just find out. I wasn't even really sure we were going to do that, but I thought, I wonder how much that's going to cost and if, this can happen. And ended up speaking to the owner of the company. I'm not going to mention his name because I can't. And I told him, I said, well, this is kind of an odd project we're doing. We're working with a guy that is quite known out there in the public, and he's a guy that worked out at Area 51 back in the 80s, and he was apparently reverse engineering alien spacecraft. And so the guy goes, are you kidding me? He goes, are you talking about Bob Lazar?
Hmm.
I said, oh, so you know about him? He goes, well, he says, not only do I know about him, he goes, I'm an aerospace engineer, and I actually worked at Groom Lake on a few secret space,
What are the chances,
yeah,
right?
on a few crafts. And I was like, what? So I immediately
On a
called him
few crafts,
on a
not
few, not the spacecraft. So sorry,
okay.
these were I think he gave me the
Aircraft.
names aircrafts. Yeah, human-made aircrafts.
There you go.
Absolutely, yeah. But they were secret at the time.
Hmm.
And I immediately was like, "What? Are you kidding? What are the chances
Hmm.
of this being, a real thing?" So I reached out to him and I said, "Are you for real? Like, you really worked out there?" And he says, "Yeah." He goes, "I don't advertise it because I shouldn't. The Department of Defense doesn't want me to go out and say I did that, but I did." And he says, "But I also rent DeLorean time machines." And I thought, well, maybe this is a sign. So I thought, I wonder if this is going to be well received with the public. We want to bring the whole world back to the most accurate representation of S4 as you experienced it. And it was so serious, the work we did for so long. We kind of wanted to just come up with something cool. And so I gave you a call and I said, Bob, I have an idea and I want to get your opinion on it. And I said to you, I said, well, I found the guy who has the DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future. He has it in Las Vegas. We would be able to bring it out to to a dry lake bed near Area 51 or out in Nevada, would you be interested in coming out and filming with us on a dry lake bed? And we make you drive the car, and we'll we'll just go at 88 miles an hour, and we'll go back to 1988. And I said, and you would, and you finished the sentence by saying,
Right.
I'm Bob Lazar, and I'm going to take you back to 1988. And I said, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, I remember the phone call. But yeah, I mean, that sounded like fun. It did. And, it's just, like you said, it's a serious topic, but, it's a fun way to introduce it. Just, I got to take you back in time here. And it was a good time.
It was such a good
blast,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, we got to meet so many great people while we did that. The guy that's got the car, the couple of guys that had the car. We got to bring up friends out there.
For someone from the 80s that watched all the Back to the Future, it's fun driving the car.
Yeah, it really, it was such a blast. And we were not even supposed to be able to drive it.
Oh, really?
The deal was
we really hauled ass in the car.
It was. I remember the deal was we get the car out on the dry lake bed, and we could take pictures. We could film you getting into the car and starting it up, but we were not supposed to drive the car. And I think the guy himself, when he was out there, he got so excited that Bob Lazar was in the time machine that he was like, "You could go ahead. You could just don't ruin the car, because
it was full of dirt, and it was destroyed by the time we were done with it.
It was so dusty. I think we dusted that car like 30 times.
Yeah, but still, on the inside, the door jambs. I mean, it's a dry lake bed. It was just terrible.
But it was such a unique experience to do that.
Great.
And that I called you and I said, would you mind bringing your original MJ12 license plate?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We put it on the car.
Yeah. That's the one you had on your Corvette back then.
Yeah.
That's it, So we took that license plate, put it on the back. They had the out of time license plate, and we just put the MJ12 right on top of it. And how cool was that?
Yeah. That was a good time.
It was great.